I woke up reborn in a zombie apocalypse. Instead of running to a safe shelter, I slipped into the ruined city and opened my own survival convenience store. Why? Because I bound a gold trading system. With gold, I can do anything. Right now, a horde of zombies is crowding my storefront, and I just cleaned those windows. Seriously, do you deadbeats have zero sense of hygiene? I grabbed a spray bottle and spritzed it toward the glass door. In an instant, the mindless, restless crowd outside froze. The zombies hit a complete pause button. They stood there dazed, then bolted in all directions like they had just seen their worst nightmare. It was absolute panic. They literally trampled each other instantly, clearing a 10-meter zone outside my shop. A system notification chimed exorcism detergent used successfully. One inventory unit consumed 99 remaining. I didn't even bother looking outside. I just turned around to keep organizing the gum packets on my shelf. Every single pack had to face perfectly straight. Suddenly, a voice gasped, "Boss, please help me." The man's face was as white as a sheet. He dragged himself toward my counter with his remaining strength. "Water," he croaked, reaching out a dirty, uninjured right hand with fingernails caked in black grime. He tried to grab the hem of my pants. I stepped back easily, dodging his filthy hand without a shred of sympathy. "Welcome," I said coldly. I pointed to the sign. "No credit here. Also, there is an extra cleaning fee if you mess up my floor." The man froze, then gasped, "I have money." Shaking, he reached inside his coat and pulled out a soggy wallet. He grabbed a fistful of red banknotes and slammed them desperately onto the counter. 10,000, take it all, 100,000. Cash scattered everywhere. I calmly flicked a 100 yen note off my cuff with my finger. "Sorry, sir, we do not accept waste paper." "You should check the current rates." I pointed toward the screen flashing above my register. No ads, just a line of glowing blood-red text. Today's exchange rate, 1 gram of gold equals 150 milliliters of mineral water. That's 5 points. Braised beef, instant noodles, 10 points. A single basic antibiotic pill, 50 points. The man's pupils shrunk in shock. Gold. He needed actual gold. On day 7 of this zombie outbreak, people only cared about bread and water. Gold was just roadside trash. He searched his pockets in a panic, then suddenly remembered something. He ripped a thick gold chain off his neck, his wedding keepsake, and roared in desperation. He slammed the gold necklace onto the counter. The coldness in my eyes softened slightly. I picked up the heavy chain and tossed it onto my electronic scale. The screen flashed red, 24-karat gold, 52 grams, minus my 10% service fee that converts to 46.8 points. My fingers clacked across the register, making a satisfying mechanical sound. Minus the 5-point cleaning fee you owe, your current available balance is 41.8 points. I want water. I need medicine. His life was draining fast. I turned around and grabbed a bottle of mineral water from the shelf. I also pulled a red capsule from a locked box under my register. Water is 5 points. This is an adrenaline first aid capsule from my system. It stops the bleeding and blocks all pain for 30 minutes. That's 35 points. With your remaining 1.8 points, I suggest buying a ham sausage to boost your energy. I set the items down, aimed my red scanner gun at his gold chain, and pulled the trigger. With a beep, the gold vanished into thin air, transforming into a stream of light that flowed into my register. A green check mark popped up on the screen. Transaction complete. The man didn't even have time to be shocked. He shoved the pill in his mouth, twisted open the water, and chugged it like crazy. Almost instantly, color rushed back to his pale face. The bleeding from his mangled arm came to a dead stop. He gasped for air. He greedily tore open the sausage wrapper and stared at me. His face shifted from despair to absolute awe and greed. "Who are you?" I put my headphones back on and grabbed my rag to wipe the counter he had just dirtied. "Just a simple cashier," I said, pointing to the exit. "Your time is up. Please leave. The next customers are arriving." He turned around and paled as the scattered zombies began gathering outside the glass door again. But this time, behind the undead horde, several living men carrying pipes and machetes emerged from the shadows. Their cold eyes looked even more vicious than the zombies. They were staring hungrily at my brightly lit store. The rain had stopped, but the copper stench of blood grew heavier. The one-armed man Wang Chao didn't dare linger here. Sure, my shop was a safe haven, but looking at my cold eyes, he realized I was far more terrifying than any zombie outside. Break my rules, and the consequences are deadly. He had barely run 50 meters down the street before shadows lunged and tackled him. That guy came out alive. He's got food on him. I saw it. Several voices growled in the rainy night, sounding like rabid dogs. Before Wang Chao could react, a bat cracked against his skull, knocking him cold. His remaining water and half-eaten sausage were violently snatched away. The attackers were led by a bald thug known as Brother Dao. When the apocalypse hit, he quickly gathered a gang of ruthless desperados. Brother Dow, what is that place?" one goon asked. Brother Dow licked the sausage grease off his fingers and stared at my glowing store. "The guy traded a gold necklace for that," he muttered greedily. "I saw the whole thing from the shadows. A store that takes gold, is gold even worth anything now? If it buys food, it is the only currency that matters. All right, boys, let's move. We are professionals here. If the owner doesn't cooperate..." He made a brutal throat-slitting gesture. 7 or 8 heavily armed thugs swaggered in. "Welcome," I muttered without looking up. I was still busy wiping down the counter with a rag that never seemed to get clean. "Gentlemen, please use the doormat first." Instead, Brother Dow kicked one of my shelves, sending bags of chips clattering to the floor. He stomped on a bag of chips, grinding it into the floor. "Wipe my feet!" He slammed his heavy machete right onto my pristine counter. The register shook, hand over all the food. Now I stopped wiping, slowly raised my head and stared back at him with dead fish eyes. I looked at Dow as if he were a walking corpse. "Damaged property, 1 bag of chips is 15 points. Counter scratch repair fee 50. Points. Verbally abusing staff, emotional damage, compensation 100 points. My voice was completely steady, without any fluctuation, showing only professional politeness. Total is 165 points. Would you like to pay by card or cash? Oh wait, we only accept gold here." The entire room went dead silent. Then they burst into wild laughter. "Is this kid insane? Asking for emotional damage compensation? I will show you crazy right now. Open your eyes and look. See this knife? This is not a credit card. You think I won't mince you up and feed you to the dead?" He snatched my collar, lifting me right off the floor. But my expression did not change at all. I just sighed softly, my gaze drifting to the void. The system triggered a level 1 response. "Warning violence detected inside the store. Judged as a level 1 violation. Implementation plan, physical expulsion." Dow froze. "What the hell are you rambling about?" Before he could finish, the seemingly ordinary ceiling light of my convenience store suddenly flipped over. It revealed a pitch-black barrel. No, not a gun. It looked like a tiny turbine engine. Instantly, a terrifying, invisible gravity force slammed down. Dow fell hard, his knees smashing into the floor with a loud crack. A painful shriek pierced the quiet night, but it was not just him. The 8 thugs with him were instantly pinned to the floor by the crushing gravity faces pressed against the tiles. They could not even twitch a finger. It felt like their lungs and organs were being squeezed flat. Their weapons were crushed right out of shape. Yet behind the counter, I remained completely untouched. I adjusted my wrinkled collar, picked up the red barcode scanner, and calmly walked around the counter toward Dow, who was pinned flat to the floor. "I told you violence is strictly banned in my store." I squatted down, letting the scanner's red beam paint his terrified, sweating face. "According to Article 3 of our rules, anyone attempting to rob this store will have their valuables seized as compensation and will be banned for life. Your name goes straight onto the lifetime blacklist." I reached down and rummaged through Dow's pockets, pulling out a gold ring and 2 gold teeth, which I popped right out of his mouth. The system accepted them as recyclable scrap along with his luxury watch. The Rolex, sorry, no gold. The system won't accept it. I tossed the priceless watch onto the floor in disgust. I only kept the gold to cover the 165-point fee. You still owe 30 points, but since you donated those teeth, I will let it slide this time. I stood up and snapped my fingers. The crushing gravity instantly flipped into a violent, repulsive blast. Dow and his thugs were blown straight out of the shop, crashing hard onto the muddy, rain-soaked street. Behind them, the thick glass slid shut, blocking out the noise. Walking back to the counter, I looked at the ruined potato chips and sighed, shaking my head. I grabbed a broom. Wasting food is honestly a sin. Outside, Dow lay in the mud, with a broken leg groaning in agonizing pain. In the dark, dozens of glowing green eyes flared to life. His screams and the smell of blood had drawn zombies from blocks away. By morning, only gnawed skeletons remained on the street. I sat on my stool behind the counter, casually spinning the barcode scanner in my hand. I stared at the system screen. Store level 1. Points collected 58. Points required for the next level upgrade. 1,000. Only 58 points. These survivors are useless, carrying absolutely nothing of value. Just then the front door chimed again. A girl in a high school uniform walked in. Spotting the fully stocked shelves, her exhaustion instantly vanished, replaced by pure, shocked disbelief. Her name was Suzai Zai, a student athlete when the world ended. She crept to my counter and dropped a heavy hiking bag. "A dying man on the corner told me about this place," she whispered, taking a deep breath to calm her nerves. She unzipped the bag. A brilliant golden glow instantly lit up my tired eyes. It was packed with gold bracelets, necklaces, and jewelry. There were even several heavy, small gold bars. She scratched her head, embarrassed. "I broke into a jewelry shop near my school. I thought it might be useful, so I kept it. My eyes gleamed. It was the look of a pure capitalist spotting a Sukarno, a premium customer. I quickly pulled out my electronic scale, my voice softening. I will take it all, she nodded. I want to trade for food. And do you have weapons? My axe is chipped. I weighed and scanned her gold, enjoying the pleasant, constant beeping of the system. I quickly flipped through the newly unlocked special item section in my mind. You have 3,500 grams of gold. After the transaction fee, you have 3,050 points. Congrats, you are now our VIP customer. She blinked. How many instant noodles does that buy? Do not underestimate your wealth, I said, offering her a mysterious smile. I turned and walked to a shelf at the back of the shop unlocked just this morning and shrouded in a thin, dark mist. Reaching into the mist, I pulled out a long black box and placed it on the counter. An F-class item, the silent frying pan. Inside was a plain frying pan priced at 500 points. She looked completely lost. Listen closely, I said, picking up the pan. I tapped it against the counter. It made absolutely no sound, only a faint, dull vibration. Its special feature is absolute, complete silence. No matter what you hit, even if you smash a skull, it will not make a single decibel of noise. In an apocalypse full of sound-sensitive monsters, you know what that means. Her eyes went wide. Stealth assassinations, silent kills right inside a horde, exactly. And there is this too. I pulled out a perfume bottle. It contained a murky green liquid. An F-class item, zombie camouflage spray. Price 800 points. Just spray it on yourself. And you will reek like a top-tier zombie king. Normal walkers will smell you and treat you like their dad. Last 30 minutes. Side effects. You will smell the terrible stench too, and it won't wash off for 3 days, even if you shower. Wait, these are not normal supplies. They are superpowers. Need anything else? We just got indestructible stockings. They defend like a bulletproof vest. No, I do not need that, she stammered. Just give me a case of iced cola, please. Just as our big deal was wrapping up, a loud engine roared outside the store. It was not a regular car. It was an armored vehicle. I looked up toward the window. A modified heavy off-road truck welded with steel plates and spikes roared through the rain and screeched to a halt right in front of the store. The car door opened, and a man in a tactical vest and sunglasses stepped out. He was the leader of the area's largest survivor base, Chen Yan. He took off his sunglasses, looked at my convenience store sign, and grinned playfully. Interesting. There is actually a shop open in a place like this. He strode inside and saw Suzai's eye mid-transaction. Little girl, leave your gold in that pan and get lost. Suzai's eye went stiff, her knuckles turning white as she gripped her frying pan. I sighed, setting down the case of cola. Looks like today our revenue is going to exceed the target. I pressed the red button under the counter. Up in the ceiling corners, 4 plain security cameras popped open, revealing silver-white metal tubes glowing with dangerous blue light at their tips. Simultaneously, a pale blue shield like an upside-down bowl covered the checkout area, protecting Suzai, Zai, and me inside. Chen Yan was a ruthless killer. The moment he saw that weird force field rise, his years of combat experience made him pull the trigger. His assault rifle spat fire shell casings flying everywhere as deafening gunshots echoed through my little shop. Suzai's eye screamed, covered her head, and crouched down, certain she was going to die. But what happened next completely shattered Chen Yan's entire worldview. Those fast-spinning bullets hit the paper, thin blue force field, but they didn't bounce or shatter at all. Instead, they were like a stone, sinking into the sea, melting completely without a single sound. Yes, they melted. The solid copper bullets turned into liquid puddles upon impact and dripped onto the counter, solidifying into tiny weird metal lumps. What kind of black magic is this? Chen Yan stammered. His eyes went wide, staring at the gun in disbelief. This isn't black magic, it's technology, I said, leaning back behind my shield without even getting off my high stool. My tone remained totally casual. System detected hostile intent. Activated Level C defense protocol, disarmament, and retribution. The 4 metal tubes on the ceiling suddenly shot out 4 red laser beams. They weren't targeting people, they hit precisely the weapons Chen Yan and his guards were holding. All 5 men screamed, at almost the same time dropping their burning weapons. Those guns and machetes that looked so scary a second ago, before they even hit the floor, they morphed into piles of twisted scrap metal. The barrels hung limp like noodles, their internals completely melted down, damaging store property floor tiles scorched by bullet casings and malicious assault on staff. I grabbed my calculator and tapped away. Your 5 rifles are valued at scrap value to offset your damages. You still owe a fine. Either leave 1 finger each or pay 500 points. Your choice. Dead silence fell. The 4 bodyguards were terrified, staring at the smoking scrap on the floor with shaking legs. This wasn't a normal convenience store. It was a futuristic military fortress. Chenyan suddenly calmed down, glaring at me before looking at the solid shield. The vicious look in his eyes quickly faded away. "I will pay," Chenyan said, his voice hoarse but firm. He yanked off the heavy gold chain and stripped every gold ring from his fingers. The 4 bodyguards exchanged glances but did not dare disobey, trembling as they pulled together a pile of gold jewelry, sliding it toward my counter. His eyes burned with eagerness. "This isn't just for the fine. With the rest, I want to buy strength." "Make me stronger." I turned off the shield. "Smart choice." I grabbed my scanner gun, letting the red light run over their pile of gold. "Remaining points are 200. I looked at Chen Yan. "Want basic bread and water, or do you want the real goods?" He breathed heavily. "I want the frying pan that girl just bought. Got anything better?" "Sold out, but since you are cooperative, I will recommend a great item." I reached under the counter, pulling up a green soda can with a spinach logo. "Special tier consumable Popeye spinach can. Drink this, and for the next 10 minutes, your strength doubles, you feel 0 pain, and your skin hardens like steel. Regular zombies cannot bite through it. Price is 1,000 points." Chen Yan's breathing grew heavy. Double strength and steel skin was perfect for close combat. "I will take all 4 cans," he demanded. I smiled and completed the sale. "Come back soon." Chen Yan held his spinach cans, gave me a long look, and turned to leave with his men. As he left, he called back, "Hey, shopkeeper, all the gold around here will soon be mine. Hold your best goods for me." I waved my hand, signaling him to get moving. "Do not block my light." Once they left, only Su Zai Zai and I remained. "Boss, you were amazing." "That force field and those lasers. Do not worship me, kid. I am just a legend." I put my headphones back on. "Anyway, business is booming, and I cannot run this shop alone." I looked Su Zai Zai up and down. Despite her messy uniform, her eyes were bright, and her body seemed healthy. After all she had carried, all that heavy gold, I tossed her an apron from under the counter. "Your position is clerk and security guard. We provide free room and board, plus 2 daily meals of instant ramen with sausage. Pay is 10 points a day. You in." Her eyes stared at the apron, then at the darkening sky and wandering zombies outside. She almost cried. In this hell, a safe house with free meals was a complete miracle. "I will do it, boss. I will even scrub the bathrooms. The toilets clean automatically," I said, pointing toward the shelves. "Go organize the potato chips first. I have OCD, so I hate messy shelves. It has been 2 days since my Apocalypse store opened. Over the last 2 days, rumors of my magical corner shop that only accepts gold have been spreading like a virus among local survivor circles. Nobody believed it at first until Chen Yan and his crew got trapped by a zombie horde. He ate that green canned food and, like a bulldozer, ripped 3 mutated zombies apart with his bare hands. That shocked every survivor peeking through their curtains. Then the madness started. Gold, once seen as worthless garbage and trash cash nobody would even pick up, turned back into a precious metal overnight. Honestly, it was far more valuable than in peacetime. It was a golden ticket to heaven. At 7 in the morning, a massive line had already formed outside my glass doors. To prevent chaos, Suzui Zai put on her blue staff uniform, holding her silent frying pan like a guardian at the entrance. "Line up, everyone. No cutting," she yelled, waving the pan to keep order. "Hey, you bald guy. Step back. You crossed the line." Inside, I was absolutely swamped. Looking at a customer, I said, "This watch band is not real gold. Minus the impurities, that is 12 points total. These gold teeth are gross, but purity is decent. 8 points. Now this gold bar is the real deal. I will give you the highest rate, 300 points. As the scanner beeped, gold turned into liquid light flowing into my register. I watched the numbers on my system panel skyrocket. I was absolutely thrilled. Just 891,110 points short of a shop upgrade. "Boss, do you have medicine for a zombie infection?" Her face looked sickly green, and a fresh scratch on her arm was already turning black and oozing pus. Everyone in line instantly scattered like she was the plague. "She is bitten. No saving her. Kick her out before she dies here." The woman sobbed, placing a red cloth bundle on my counter. Inside was a pair of exquisite gold dragon and phoenix bracelets and some gold pendants. "These were my daughter's baby gifts. Please, boss, save her." I looked down at the little girl. My system scan showed the virus had already hit her lymph nodes. She had 2 hours left. Regular antibiotics are totally useless. Normal medicine cannot save her. The woman's eyes went dead and she collapsed to the floor. But then I shifted gears and pointed to the special shelf behind me. On it sat several strangely colored potions. B-class, special item zombie virus blocker serum. Must be used within 4 hours of infection. Price 500 points. I tossed her jewelry onto my scale. Total weight 120 grams. That converted to 180 points. Not even close. The crowd began whispering. 500 points was a fortune. A normal person could scavenge a whole neighborhood and still not have enough gold. The woman grabbed my counter in absolute despair. I can work, I can sell my blood, please. I shook my head. We do not accept blood here, and we do not do credit. Just as she was about to shatter, a massive rough hand slammed a heavy gold brick onto my counter. I will cover her bill. Everyone turned. It was Chen Yan, a cigar he just bought from me, dangling from his mouth, draped in a leather coat, walking over with wide, confident strides. Several of his lackeys followed each, lugging a heavy backpack. Judging by their bulk, they were clearly stuffed to the brim with gold. Boss store owner, here is the deposit. I am buying her life. She can work off the debt doing laundry at my base. I shrugged indifferently and picked up the brick. A standard 500-gram bar, 450 points plus her previous 180. Enough. I grabbed a blue syringe from my shelf and tossed it to her. Inject it straight into her heart. Works in 10 seconds. Sobbing thanks, she grabbed the syringe and stabbed it shakily into her daughter's chest. Almost instantly, the black lines on her arm faded away. Her ragged breathing grew steady. The watching crowd erupted into chaos. It actually worked. It can even cure the virus. In that moment, the crowd did not look at me as just a shopkeeper anymore. They looked at me like a goddess. Forget these small-time deals, boss. I have a massive trade for you. Gold bars, coins, statues, way over 10 pounds in total. I want weapons, lots of them. I heard you sell guns with unlimited ammo. I stared at his pile of gold as a satisfying system notification chimed in my ears. Congratulations, host. Your total points have exceeded 1,000. Shop upgraded to level 2. New feature unlocked second floor living quarters for your exclusive use. New shelf unlocked C-class combat items. Special feature unlocked store defense range expanded to 50 meters in all directions. The corner of my mouth twitched into a genuine smile. Unlimited ammo, huh? I grabbed a revolver from the newly unlocked C-class shelf, featuring a wild design and sleek silver-white body. C-class item, Infinite Gambler Revolver. Feature unlimited ammunition with no need to reload. But every 6 shots one will jam and deliver a painful electric shock. Do you dare to gamble? Chen Yan stared at the weapon madness pooling in his eyes. Gambling is my favorite thing in the world. After the shop upgrade, my life grew incredibly comfortable, even though most customers still ran off right after buying, too terrified to linger. Still, big spenders like Chen Yan occasionally stopped by to enjoy hot Odin. But behind this thriving facade, a critical problem emerged. We were running out of gold. Survivors only had so much jewelry, and Chen Yan's crew had already completely stripped nearby jewelry stores. Long ago, foot traffic plummeted. The rare customers who did trickle into my shop brought nothing but flimsy earrings or cheap low-purity gold-plated trinkets with almost no actual gold content. Boss, can I trade this for a bun? An old man shakily handed me a pair of reading glasses. I sighed. Gold content 0.01 grams. The system refused it. He left disappointed. I sat behind my counter staring at the empty room, frowning. System. If gold runs out, how do I keep my doors open? Xiaobubu gold represents the order of the old world. It is the only substance suppressing the virus. I recycle gold to extract order. Since surface gold is running dry, you must guide survivors to scavenge in high-risk zones. Boss, something terrible happened. Is someone causing trouble? I asked calmly. A zombie. There is a weird golden zombie outside. My heart skipped a beat. I stepped out from behind my counter and rushed to the glass door. It was noon and the sun was blistering. At the end of the street, a massive zombie lumbered toward us. Its skin was not rotten gray, but it has a metallic dark gold sheen. A half-melted gold bar is embedded in its chest, looking like it grew straight out of its body. Almost as if greeting their king, the gold zombie lets out a roar that sounds like scraping metal. But it doesn't charge the living. Instead, it stares straight toward my convenience store. To be exact, it is locked on to the massive aura of gold radiating from the cash register inside. That is a gold-type mutant. I narrow my eyes as red text flashes on my scanner. Warning, special mutant detected level 1 gold devourer. It contains high-purity gold elements. Killing it yields a bio-gold crystal worth 5,000 points. My eyes immediately turn into dollar signs. This monster is worth 10 times Chen Yan's total value, but it looks incredibly tough to kill. Just then, Chen Yan's convoy arrives. He spots it too. What on earth is this zombie version of a Shaolin 18 bronze man? He aims his new Infinite Gambler revolver and shoots the bullet hitting the creature's chest. It throws off a shower of sparks without even breaking the skin. Enraged, the gold zombie stomps hard, cracking the asphalt road instantly. It rumbles forward like a tank charging straight at Chen Yan and my convenience store. "Run this thing is bulletproof," Chen Yan screams. All his arrogance vanishes in an instant. But I do not run. Standing on the storefront steps with a megaphone in hand, I call out, "Attention customers, our store is launching its first emergency bounty mission. Whoever slays this giant and brings me its core wins a C-class gene enhancement serum. It will grant you the physique of Captain America, plus a lifetime Q-Skip VIP card." Those words strike Chen Yan, who is just about to run, and he freezes instantly. It is not just him. Other survivors hiding in the shadows along with their teams are suddenly seeing red. A lifetime VIP status means survival and dominance in this apocalypse. All right, guys, fortune favors the bold. Let us go. Blow this golden monster to pieces. A violent bounty hunt erupts right outside. As for me, I calmly pull up a chair behind the glass. I hold a cup of hot tea, ready to enjoy the show. Fight hard because the house always wins anyway. The fear in their eyes is completely gone. It is replaced by pure madness. First to strike is Chen Yan's man-iron bull, fueled by power spinach. His tight camo vest instantly rips apart. Torn by bulging muscles, his skin turns a creepy dark green with veins popping like earthworms. He roars, throws his machete aside, and actually yanks a rusty fire hydrant from the ground, swinging it like a toothpick. With a loud bang, it slams into the gold devourer's skull. Its dark gold head only tilts slightly, skin still unbroken. It slowly turns around, fixing its cold, emotionless, golden pupils right on Iron Bull. A low metallic grinding noise rumbles from its throat. The next second, it raises its massive hand palm, hardening into a blade. He swipes forward with no fancy moves. Against this hand blade, Iron Bull's enhanced hardened body is as fragile as plain tofu. He is cut clean in half at the waist. Total silence. This thing's defense is insane. Chen Yan fires 5 times in a row. With no need to reload, blue flames spit as 5 massive magnum bullets hit the half-melted gold bar on the beast's chest. The chest dents oozing golden mercury like blood. It is working. Chen Yan is thrilled. He pulls the trigger for a 6th shot, but nothing happens. Instead, a blue electric current zaps straight up the handle. He convulses violently, his hair standing straight up as he foams at the mouth like an epileptic breakdancer. He collapses hard, his gun flying away. A system notification pops up. Infinite Gambler triggered its negative effect lucky electrotherapy. The user is paralyzed for 30 seconds. Watching from behind the glass door of my store, I cannot help but burst out laughing. His luck is truly comical, but the humor is short-lived. The battlefield remains incredibly cruel. Enraged by the pain, the Gold Devourer stops briefly, then charges forward like an out-of-control heavy truck. It crashes violently into the crowd. Screams echo as swords blunt instantly against its hide, and homemade Molotov cocktails do nothing but blacken its skin, making it look like a black and gold demon from hell. It grabs a sneaky survivor, stuffing him straight into its jaws. The sickening crunch of shattering bones is clearly audible. There is no breaking its defense. Retreat, retreat now, the panicked survivors scream. Those who were fired up just moments ago begin to break down. Suddenly, a small, agile figure leaps off an abandoned car. It is Suzy, and she is holding that black, silenced frying pan. The one I told her ignores the rules of sound. With a sharp look in her eyes, she flips in midair, gripping the handle with both hands to utilize her falling gravity, and slams it hard against the Gold Devourer's forehead. It is a powerful blow, yet weirdly silent. The whole world seems to freeze. All the kinetic energy, with nothing lost to making sound, converts into a massive physical shockwave that shoots straight into the monster's head. The beast freezes. Externally, it looks completely unharmed, but its golden eyeballs suddenly rupture as 2 streams of golden blood spray out. Its indestructible brain is shaken into pure mush. The massive 2.5-meter-tall body falls backward, crashing into the dirt. Suzy lands, breathing heavily, her black frying pan still looking brand new. Once again, the entire scene falls completely silent. Everyone stares in disbelief at this schoolgirl. A one-hit kill, a monster immune to bullets taken down with a frying pan. I step out of my convenience store clapping. A rare hint of approval shows in my dead fish eyes. Nice job, physics still work here, just in a different form. Ignoring the greedy stares from the crowd, I walk to the corpse and scan its chest. High-purity gold crystal detected. Recycling successful. A blinding golden light flies out of the corpse, straight into my scanner. I felt my entire convenience store system let out a pleased hum. Following the bounty rules, I pulled a dark blue test tube from my pocket and tossed it to Suzy. To the shocked girl, I said, "It is yours. A C-grade gene enhancement potion. Drink it, and you can lift a motorcycle with one hand." Gulping sounds echoed from the surrounding crowd, especially Chen Yan, who had just recovered from his paralysis. His eyes were bloodshot with envy, but when he looked at the strange frying pan in Suzy's hand, he hesitated. He looked at my unreadable expression and swallowed his greed. After Suzai drank the enhancement potion in public, she immediately bent a solid steel bar with her bare hands. That single display terrified everyone with bad intentions into total submission. She officially became our security captain, patrolling the convenience store every single day with her trusty frying pan. Now nobody dares to cut the line anymore. Meanwhile, I studied my new rewards. Shop level 2 with upgrade progress at 58,000 out of 100,000. I unlocked a special component, an incomplete gold conversion core. This unlocks a new facility, a fully automatic vending machine ready for automatic branch deployment. I checked the system description. This new facility can be placed anywhere outside my main store. As long as someone inserts gold, it dispenses goods automatically. This is literally the perfect tool to expand my reach across the whole city. System, does this vending machine have defense functions? Answering host, the machine has a built-in Class B defense shield and is equipped with a self-destruct program. If anyone tries to vandalize it by force, it will trigger a plasma explosion within a 20-meter radius. That is ruthless. I love it. I immediately drew up an expansion plan. At this time, the store shelves also restocked a bunch of even more outrageous items to deal with the looming zombie horde. I released a civilian package, an F-class item, the disposable zombie trap grenade. When thrown, it plays the viral square dance song Little Apple to draw zombies within 50 meters to gather around before exploding. Price 50 points. Another F-class item, compressed biscuits, chewy beef flavor. One single piece of this keeps you full for 3 days. Side effect, you will have an insane urge to pick fights after eating. Price 10 points. Though the side effect is ridiculous when life and death are on the line, these are god-tier items. That afternoon, an unexpected guest showed up at my store. It was a whole convoy. They all rode in army green jeeps. Though the vehicles were covered in scratches and dried blood, their strict discipline was still obvious. The convoy pulled over and over. A dozen soldiers in tattered combat uniforms carrying standard rifles quickly spread out to stand guard. A one-eyed, middle-aged man walked in. He had an empty socket where his other eye was. Wearing no eye patch, he looked extremely creepy. A tattered shoulder badge was pinned to his uniform. That was the proud insignia of the old world military. Our guard Suzai, who was managing the queue, stepped in and stopped him. The one-eyed man glanced at Suzai, then looked at the long line behind her. He frowned, but did not throw a fit. He silently walked to the back and joined the line. This move made me take a second look. Law-abiding armed forces are usually much easier to handle than rabid dogs. When it was the one-eyed man's turn, he did not pull out jewelry like the others. Instead, he drew a black card from his jacket and slapped it down. This is the access card and the password for the vault of the largest bank downtown. There is at least 3 tons of gold stored there. My fingers froze. 3 tons. That is 3 million grams or 3 million points. That is enough to max out the store and unlock the planar portal. I looked up my dead fish eyes, showing seriousness for the first time. I want weapons, a lot of weapons. Not to kill zombies, but to kill people. The northern prison has been taken over by a pack of absolute lunatics. They feed survivors to zombies, preaching some fake human evolution. We are going to storm in, but we need ammo. I stared at the empty socket of the one-eyed man and stayed silent. I am a businessman. I do not interfere in survivor wars. I took his black card and slotted it into the system scanner to read the data. Verification successful. Coordinates locked downtown Federal Bank underground vault. Estimated gold reserves 3.5 tons. But then I smiled. Gold is innocent. To get this gold into circulation, I can make a one-time exception. The wall behind me slowly opened, revealing the newly unlocked arsenal. A Gatling gun with unlimited ammo trial version, only 5,000 bullets total. A high-explosive grenade featuring a holy attribute dealing 200% damage to zombies, plus a civilian-grade exoskeleton that reduces recoil. The one-eyed man's single eye lit up instantly, the instinctive reaction of a soldier seeing a good gun. You must retrieve this gold yourself. I am not responsible for transport. In exchange, I will take half of your loot. Deal. I flashed a knowing smile. I was just worrying that I had no excuse to deploy my fully automatic vending machine downtown. This trip was on the way. I saw the one-eyed man off. His name was Tim Lay. As night fell, I turned off the open sign and hung the Do Not Disturb sign. I sorted my earnings. Aside from that massive order walk in, customers contributed a lot today, especially those buying those Little Apple grenades. Boss, are we really going downtown? That place is a sea of zombies. I heard mutated zombies are everywhere there. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, I replied, cleaning my scanner. Besides, I have always felt the system's gold recycling mechanism hides some deep secret behind it. That gold devourer task appeared way too coincidentally. Right at this moment, I suddenly felt a cold chill run down my spine like I was being targeted by a venomous snake. System scan the surrounding area. Scan complete. No hostile targets detected within a 50-meter radius. No, they are not nearby. I walked out of the store and stood on the empty street staring into the distance. About 2 kilometers away, on the top floor of an abandoned office building, there seemed to be a tiny faint glint flashing in the dark, a reflection from a high-powered telescope. 2 kilometers away on that skyscraper's roof stood a man in a white suit. Beside him crouched a horrific beast the size of a leopard covered in black scales gnawing on a corpse. The man had an unnaturally delicate, almost eerie face. He swirled a glass of red wine, real 1982, Lafite, not some cheap convenience store knockoff. Interesting, he muttered, taking a small sip of red wine. A graceful smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. The power of order has actually revived here. He looked down at the feeding creature and gently stroked its head, just like petting a dog. Little Black, looks like our evolution plan has run into a rival. The stuff from that store is interfering with the virus. The creature let out a comfortable purr, its tongue licking his hand, leaving a trail of corrosive slime. But his skin was completely unharmed. Instead, it glowed with an eerie light. That faint metallic sheen, that idiot Captain Lei thinks guns can beat me. Gold is the food of the gods. How can we trade with it? He stood up, gesturing to Ye Feng. Send the order. Divert the zombie horde to that convenience store since the shop owner likes collecting gold. We will send him a huge gift. Standing at my store entrance, I sneezed. Who is talking about me? I rubbed my nose. Boss, what is wrong? Zai poked her head out. It is nothing. Just feels like the weather is changing. I looked at the dark night sky. In the distance, dark clouds gathered, blocking the moon. Get ready. We leave for downtown tomorrow morning. Are you ready, dear customers? I stood at the entrance of my convenience store. Behind me stood a modified heavy-duty truck. Its bed carried no normal cargo, just a massive cuboid wrapped in black tarpaulin sealed tight on all sides. That was the system's fully automatic vending machine. Zai sat in the passenger seat, pan at her waist, sucking on a newly bought lollipop. FGR trade item. Courage lollipop. Eliminates all fear upon consumption. Price 5 points. Captain Lei's Jeep convoy led the way with the one-eyed captain himself up front, manning the heavy machine gun on the roof. His face was grave, as if heading to an execution. Move out, target. The underground vault of the Federal Bank. The convoy rumbled onto the main road. We had barely driven 2 kilometers when I noticed something off. The normally scattered wandering zombies acted like a disciplined army today. They packed and blocked every overpass leading to the city center. No roaring, no noise. They just stood there, quietly forming a massive wall of flesh. The road is completely blocked. Captain Lei's gruff voice crackled over the walkie-talkie. This is man-made. Someone is commanding them. Charge straight through. Zai asked, crunching hard on her lollipop. If we charge, the wheels will get stuck. Captain Lei stared at the zombie wall at least 50 meters thick and felt a wave of despair. I sat in the truck cab, slowly pulling an item from my pocket that looked like an old radio. D-grade item, Moses Traffic Broadcast. Effect when played, it emits special high-frequency sound waves only zombies can hear, forcibly dispersing all biological units within 500 meters straight ahead, opening a Red Sea passage. Duration 5 minutes. Side effect. The audio is the deeply unpleasant sound of sawing wood, causing irreversible mental pollution to human hearing. Team Lei, tell everyone to plug their ears, I said into the walkie-talkie. I am about to start broadcasting. A few seconds later, a piercing, soul-scraping shriek blasted out from the speaker on top of the truck. A miracle happened. The impenetrable wall of zombies up ahead reacted like boiling water, hitting fresh snow, churning violently. The zombies covered their rotting ears, if they even had them, and scrambled madly to both sides in agony. Somehow, right down the middle of the packed highway, they cleared a path 5 meters wide. Where is that awful sound coming from? Even with earplugs and Zai felt like her brain was boiling. The convoy seized this precious 5-minute window, driving straight into downtown like a sharp sword. Zombie hordes on both sides surged like black ocean waves. Countless rotting arms tried to claw at our vehicles, but that terrifying sound wave forced them all back. Finally, right before the sea of zombies closed back up, we rushed into the financial plaza. The Grand Bank building still stood tall before us. Unload the goods. I jumped out of the cab and ordered Lei's men to carry that massive black block down, setting it right on the bank steps. The tarp was ripped away, revealing a sci-fi silver-white machine with a massive touchscreen. Fully automatic vending machine, branch number 1. Status inactive. Activation requirement. Insert 1 kilogram of gold as startup energy. Team Lei, you are up. I pointed at the coin slot on the machine. Team Lay did not waste any words. He grabbed a gold bar and shoved it inside. The machine lit up, instantly blue light streaming along its frame. Secondary power activation successful. Now connected to main power. Inventory, data, synchronization complete. Defense system online, B-class plasma shield activated. A pale blue hemispherical light screen unfolded, instantly turning the bank entrance into an absolute safe zone. Right at this moment, a deep, low growl rumbled from deep inside the bank building. That did not sound like any normal zombie. It sounded like the breath of a deep-sea beast. The ground shook. Seems the landlord dislikes visitors very much. I narrowed my eyes, staring into the dark depths of the bank lobby. With an ear-splitting roar, the bulletproof glass doors shattered violently, and an extremely bloated monster, with a belly as massive as a hot air balloon, squeezed out. Its huge mouth took up 3/4 of its face, filled with spiral teeth that looked like they belonged inside a meat grinder. The grossest part was its transparent belly. You could see no internal organs, just piles of random metal scraps stuffed instead. Warning: encountered mutant glutton level 2. Traits: can devour all metal and convert it into armor. Has an extreme craving for gold. Weakness: internal overload. This thing is obviously not something you can kill with a frying pan. It is here for the gold. Team Lay grabbed the infinite ammo Gatling gun he just bought, eyes burning with murderous intent. Blue tongues of fire spurted out, sending a dense hail of bullets into the glutton. But the beast just opened its massive mouth and sucked hard. A terrifying suction force created a visible cyclone, pulling all the bullets straight into its mouth. It chewed the bullets like fried beans, then let out a burp. Its belly glowed red, slightly brighter now. Physical attacks are useless. It even eats bullets. The glutton was obviously still hungry, its greedy eyes locking onto our automatic vending machine on the steps, which exuded a strong aura of gold. In its eyes, that was no machine, but a massive, delicious cake. It wriggled its bloated body, lumbering over like a mountain of flesh. "Oh no, it is going to eat our branch," Zai yelled anxiously. I stayed completely calm, tapping on the vending machine screen. "Calm down. If it wants to eat, let it eat its fill." I tapped quickly, pulling up the back-end management interface to list a new product. C-class trap item, Greedy One's Last Supper. Description: a gold bar, looking like top-grade pure gold. It is actually a high-density compressed antimatter bomb. Once digested by biological stomach acid, it instantly triggers a micro black hole collapse. Price 1 point. Promotional price. Hurry. Zai, buy this now and throw it into that monster's mouth. Zai was confused for a second, but she reacted super fast. She immediately pulled a gold earring from her pocket, stuffed it in, and then selected the A glittering gold brick dropped out right away under option A. Suzui grabbed it immediately, staring down the glutton less than 10 meters away. Gathering all her strength, she yelled, "Hey, fat ass, enjoy your afternoon tea." The gold brick soared in a perfect arc landing straight inside the monster's bloody wide-open mouth. The beast swallowed it whole without even chewing. Sensing the rich smell of gold, it let out a satisfied grunt, but 3 seconds later, its expression froze. Its transparent belly started contracting violently, and the red glow instantly turned into a creepy black color. The glutton rolled on the ground in total agony. Its body caved inward like a plastic bottle with the air sucked out. That massive frame was compressed and twisted by the black dot inside its stomach. Within seconds, there was no explosion, only the horrifying sight of space warping. Then came a soft popping sound, and its entire body vanished. All that remained was a fist-sized pitch-black bead. The room went dead silent. Team Lay's subordinates stared at it, their jaws nearly hitting the floor. That arrogant monster was wiped out by a single brick. I picked up the black bead. A high-concentration mutant crystal, the system announced, can unlock special functions. I tossed the bead. Clear the area, we are entering the vault. With the glutton dead, the remaining ordinary zombies inside the bank were no threat at all. Team Lay's elite squad cleared the way effortlessly until we finally stood before the vault door. It was a massive alloy slab, a full meter thick. I glanced at Team Lay. He swiped a black card, entering complex commands. Gears that had been dormant for ages slowly began to turn. With a heavy groan from the hydraulic rods, the door opened. A blinding golden glow poured out, nearly blinding us in the dim basement. Mountains of gold bricks and coins shimmered with an alluring glow. Massive amount of order substance detected, the system chimed. Large-scale recovery in progress. I did not waste a second. I raised my scanner gun, activating the wide area scan. A red light fanned across the vault. The gold did not fly into the radio this time because I had left it behind. Instead, the bricks dissolved into countless streaks of golden light and went straight into my body, or rather my system interface. 10,000, 50,000, 200,000. Shop level upgraded to level 3. Level 4 core permission area unlocked. Order reconstruction activated. Just as the final gold brick vanished from the empty vault, a voice suddenly echoed in my mind. It was a tired, ancient voice far more human than the robotic system. We finally have enough power for the startup. I whipped around. Who is there? Team Lei and Suzui were busy gathering leftover jewelry. I am the previous host of this system, or rather, I designed this world's firewall. The voice echoed. Kid, you must wonder why gold can buy everything and why gold can kill zombies. I asked silently. Why? Because this world already died once. The so-called zombie virus is actually corrupted data from a code crash. And gold, being an eternally stable inert metal, has been given the absolute strongest universal value recognition over thousands of years of human history. This consensus is order. I do not collect gold for wealth, but to extract order and fix this world's collapsing underlying structure, forcing rules into chaotic code. But someone is trying to stop this repair. A dark force is actively guiding the virus to evolve, trying to format this world. Watch out for the man in the white suit. He is the virus administrator. The voice cut off. System reboot complete. Level 4 permissions activated. New function unlocked. You can upgrade any branch into a battle fortress. I snapped back to my senses, my back drenched in cold sweat. Boss, why are you spacing out? We got all the gold. Suzui patted my shoulder. I took a deep breath. Nothing, I said. I just realized our business is far bigger than I ever imagined. Right then, the ground beneath us started shaking violently. Over the walkie-talkie, the guard at the entrance screamed in terror. Oh no, every zombie in the city is coming. The vending machine's shield is failing. I bolted from the vault, rushing to the lobby. Through the shattered front doors, a terrifying sight unfolded. The entire financial district was swallowed by a black sea of undead. Hundreds of thousands swarmed like ants, piling up layer upon layer against our shield. And right in the center of that zombie horde atop the abandoned Empire State Building, a piercing red light was locked onto our building. The administrator was declaring war. Looks like he would not let us leave with this order. I gripped my scanner. Let us fight then. Looking at the alarm blaring vending machine, spend 100,000 points, activate War Fortress mode. System deduction confirmed. As my cold command faded, the vending machine, normally the size of a standard fridge, suddenly roared like a colossal beast waking up. War Fortress mode, active, reconstructing physical form now. Under the shocked gazes of Team Lei and Suzui, the silver-white machine morphed wildly. Countless metal plates folded and bloomed out of thin air like a steel lotus. In the blink of an eye, in just 5 seconds, it transformed from a vending machine into a 5-meter-tall, 10-meter-wide, circular steel fortress blocking the entire bank entrance. 4 twin-barrel automatic sentry guns rose from the roof, their muzzles glowing a dangerous blue. Thick armor plates slid out to reinforce the sides. Right in the center, it still kept the coin slot and touchscreen. My little twisted hobby. No matter the form, it is still a money-making machine. Welcome to my temporary branch store. I stood on the command platform, sipping freshly redeemed hot coffee. Then the horde slammed into us. Tens of thousands of zombies came like a black tsunami crashing against the blue plasma shield, covering the fortress. Countless rotten faces pressed the barrier, sizzling as they burned. But the beast kept charging, piling up corpses to make a ramp right up to us. Open fire, Leighton roared at the top of his lungs. He stood at the fortress firing position, his Gatling gun roaring wildly. But it was not enough. The sea of zombies felt completely endless. Boss, we are running out of bullets. Mrs. Sue swung her frying pan, sending a leper flying. I glanced down at my system panel. Current attack intensity, S-class. Shield energy, 85%. Ammo critically low. Out of bullets, I simply raised an eyebrow. Then buy some duh, I said, pointing to the touchscreen behind me. Every weapon and ammo type is on wartime sale now as long as you have gold. Or crystal cores from dead zombies. Even if you just carved it out, toss it in the slot, and your ammo refills automatically. Those words acted like a shot of pure adrenaline for Captain Lei and his squad. All right, guys, fight to feed the fight. Lei roared, grabbing a mutant zombie that climbed up the wall. He drove a bayonet into its skull, dug out a cloudy crystal core, and threw it into the slot. Charging successful. Gatling ammo belt, fully replenished. Lei laughed wildly as his Vulcan cannon spewed half-meter-long flames. This was not even a war, it was an arcade game. As long as you killed meanwhile. 2 kilometers away, on top of the Empire State Building, the man in the white suit watched the scene, crushing the wine glass in his hand. Using the power of order to fight chaos, he sneered with a venomous glare. Do you really think money works miracles? Send in the tyrants. He snapped his fingers. On his command, the ground behind the zombie horde cracked open. 3 massive 10-meter-tall figures slowly stood up. They were 3 giant monsters, stitched together from countless corpses. Their arms were scrap tanks, and massive signal receivers were embedded in their heads. Warning. Engineering class, biological weapon detected. Level 3, Tyrants 3 in total. Wait, did those tanks turn into zombies? Suzui Sai pointed at the colossal figures, her voice trembling. The 3 tyrants raised their arms, revealing real tank gun barrels. 3 shells loaded with toxic green gas came whistling in. They slammed hard against the fortress shield, shaking the entire ground. The blue energy barrier flickered violently, its glow instantly dimmed by half. Shield overloaded. Collapse expected after the next round. The system alarm blared. I set down my coffee cup. Looks like this little business is going under. I glanced at the tons of gold we just hauled from the vault. It was not fully converted yet. Let's go big instead. The moment the shield shattered, despair washed over everyone. Toxic gas flooded the area. Zombies swarmed the outer walls like ants. Suddenly, one of Lei's men was snatched up by a tyrant's tentacle. He was ripped to shreds in midair. We cannot hold on much longer. His Gatling gun barrel was glowing red-hot, completely useless. Meanwhile, Suzui was surrounded by 2 lickers, wounded in several places. Her invincible frying pan was knocked flying. "Get out of here, boss. Run for your life." She shouted, "Even if you have to crawl through the sewers." Suzui sobbed through her tears, but I did not budge. I stood on the fortress's highest command platform as the wind whipped my uniform. My gaze pierced the massive sea of zombies staring directly at the distant Empire State Building. A blinding red light locked onto me. That was the admin's mark. It was a deletion order. In this digital apocalypse, the other side wanted to erase EMEA data node created by a system bug. I felt my body starting to turn transparent. It felt like millions of ants were eating away at my data. Warning, underlying code attack detected. Erasure imminent. Alert host vital signs are declining. You want to delete my account. A wild smirk played on my lips. Did you ask my wallet first? I spun around, slamming the black card loaded with 35 tons of gold data deep into the core slot of our War Fortress system. Bet all the gold we have. I want to buy the Divine Tier single-use Scourge. The radio screen flickered like crazy before freezing on a line of blood-red text. Transaction confirmed. 3.5 million order points deducted. Divine Punishment patch downloading. Progress 1%, own 100%. The next second time stood still. The sky, which had been covered in dark clouds and bathed in red light, suddenly split open. A pure golden pillar of light over a kilometer in diameter descended from the heavens to cover the entire financial plaza. This was not sunlight. It was a data stream, the absolute purest power of order. Within this golden glow, the 3 arrogant tyrants froze in their tracks. The stitched corpses on their bodies peeled away. Their tank barrels began to rust and crumble. Ah, why can't I move? We are being corrected. Within that golden light, a grand synthesized electronic voice from the depths of the universe echoed large number of illegal zombie programs detected. Commencing formatting operation. Countdown 3, 2, 1. The man in the white suit let out a desperate, terrified roar. Delete! I whispered, softly snapping my fingers. Every single zombie caught inside that massive light pillar, whether they were standard mindless walkers or those terrifying tyrants, disintegrated in an instant. They did not bleed or explode, but turned into endless green code fragments of zeros and ones dissolving into the air. They were just like virus files wiped out by antivirus software. Even that man in the white suit screamed miserably in the distance. Even outside the center of the light pillar, as a source of the virus, half his body turned to data and vanished. With only 1 arm and half a head left, he scrambled into the sewer, escaping in a panic. 10 seconds later, the light faded. The plaza, once packed with zombie hordes, was now completely empty. Not a single drop of blood was left behind. Only my war fortress remained standing. Tall though billowing black smoke, it held solid. The entire world fell dead silent. Captain Lei and Suzui stared in utter shock. What is this?" Suzui mumbled to herself. I slumped back into my chair, my face pale, but my eyes still brimming with smug pride. This is the ultimate privilege of pay-to-win players. My convenience store reopened 3 days after the Divine Punishment my system upgraded again. The shop was no longer stuck on a street corner. It merged with the entire bank, becoming a massive, apocalyptic department store. The first floor became the civilian premium section, selling basic items like silent frying pans, power spinach, and more. The third floor is the arms section. Captain Lei and his squad are stationed here for security, and to spend money, of course. The top floor holds my private office overlooking the entire city. Suzui now wears a gold-trimmed clerk uniform, actually a specialized combat suit. She is currently directing survivors to haul crates, acting as the city's absolute top dog now. Anyone causing trouble gets the frying pan treatment. Inside my office, I sat by the massive floor-to-ceiling window, watching the bustling crowds below. Humanity is rebuilding order. and though it is fragile, hope survives. Current shop status level 5 nearing max capacity. Current gold in inventory. 0. Dead broke. Next phase mission cross-plane chain store activation in progress. Boss, are we really completely broke? Team Lei wants to pre-order a batch of exoskeleton armor. He asks to buy on credit. No credit allowed, period. I turned around and told Suzuya there are dozens of other cities outside ours with bank vaults waiting to be cracked. Want to get stronger? Go earn some cash. Right, Suz. She stuck out her tongue. Oh, right, that guy in the white suit who ran away. Team Lei sent people to hunt him down, but they lost him. What did that message say? The game has only just begun. See you in version 2. I laughed, picked up the scanner from my desk, and shot the empty air. Bring it on. No matter how the game updates, the rule that you must spend cash to get stronger never changes. Cash to get stronger never changes. I walked to the window and hung a sign outside. It glowed in the sunset. Apocalypse convenience store inventory in progress. Free check complete today. Open as usual tomorrow. Welcome. That inventory sign has been hanging outside for a whole month now, but I certainly haven't been slacking off this past month. Though on the surface, this Apocalypse department store remains the city's only beacon of hope. Inside the top floor core area, where only I can enter, incredible changes are quietly taking place. The system that used to mechanically welcome customers has been strangely silent lately. Behind the scenes, all our gold is being devoured at a crazy rate. Not for buying instant noodles, mind you. The system is consuming it to build a vortex-shaped light gate that floats right in the middle of my office, glowing with a faint blue light. Dimension order restoration 99.9%. Excess points converting. Dimensional anchor search in progress. Multiverse chain store system beta. Version coming soon. I sat back in my executive chair, spinning my newly upgraded gold scanner and staring blankly at the swirling light gate. Boss, you've been staring at that giant washing machine for 3 hours. Suzuya pushed the door open, carrying a plate of freshly sliced fruit. This isn't a washing machine. Ambition flashed in my eyes. This is an elevator to brand new markets. Team Lei said the zombies next door are almost all cleared out. You're thinking too small. I pointed toward the ceiling. Our future is in the sky underground, or even in other universes entirely. Suzuya just rolled her eyes. She probably thought I was having another Chunibyo episode. She set down the fruit and was about to leave when suddenly that glowing blue portal began to shake violently. A terrifying, unprecedented pressure surged out from the portal. It wasn't the rotting stench of zombies, but a heavy, bloody aura that felt like it belonged to some ancient wild beast. The store's alarm blared instantly. Warning, unauthorized intrusion detected. Unknown, high-energy reaction. Energy level detected. Peak Foundation establishment stage. Cultivation world standard. Target carries high-purity spirit stones, convertible to order points. When I heard the word spirit stones, my lazy gaze sharpened instantly. Time to welcome our guest. I straightened my tie a little and picked up the barcode scanner. The portal was just about to close when a bloody hand in a tattered Taoist robe reached through. Then a long-haired young man carrying a shattered sword stumbled inside. He was covered in gashes with a charred palm print burned onto his chest. He'd clearly just barely escaped a life-or-death pursuit. The young cultivator raised his head. His eyes were filled with exhaustion and killing intent. But when he saw Suzuya and me in our strange modern clothes amid this high-tech room, he froze. Where is this? Is this the underworld? Welcome to store number 01 of the Multiverse Convenience Store. I pointed a finger at the pouch hanging from his waist. A plain gray cloth storage pouch. Fellow Taoist, I see a dark shadow over your brow. You don't have long to live, but with just a few spirit stones you can buy your survival. The youth stared warily. Spirit stones, are you a merchant? Can we trade here? Absolutely. Fair deals for all. We're a reputable multiverse chain. I waved my barcode scanner. That broken sword of yours looks decent too. Even if the metal is outdated, the sword intent infused in it should fetch a pretty high price. System recycling value, that is. The youth hesitated, glancing back at the glowing portal. It seemed like whatever was chasing him was closing in. Gritting his teeth, he pulled out a crystal-clear stone, glowing with a soft white light. If you can save my life, this top-grade spirit stone is yours. My scanner flashed a brilliant red. High-purity order crystal detected, worth 100,000 points. My grin grew even wider. We have a deal. I snapped my fingers. The office wall slid open, revealing our newly unlocked cultivation tech hybrid zone. The weapons lined up there weren't standard firearms. We're talking rune Gatling guns, carved with explosive arrays, ghost tracking RPG launchers, and nanoscale golden silk armor. Suzuya, get this fellow Taoist our premium revenge package. I turned to face the trembling portal, a spark of pure excitement in my eyes. Since we've unlocked a new map sitting back, and defending this shop isn't enough, we need to colonize. I looked out the window. The ruined apocalyptic city outside seemed totally different to me now. This wasteland was just our starting point. Anchor locked on the fantasy Tianyuan continent. Cross-dimensional teleportation is about to begin. Host, please prepare. I took a deep breath and spoke softly into the void. All right, folks, time to make a fortune off cultivators.